Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Codename New to Wave2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu RU. Now, this is another video that I decided to do on the fly, and I'm kind of adding more to my other previous video when I've been talking about the recent Hasbro release of the iconic 80s Star Wars figures using their original molds. Now, I had no intention of collecting these because this is the second wave of them. The first wave is nearly impossible to find, and they were a Target exclusive. So, you know, being that I'm in the South, everybody in the South makes frequent trips to Walmart. So that's where I discovered the Wave 2. And initially, again, I had no intention of collecting these, but it just so happened I went to another Walmart down in Boca, and they had the rest of the Wave 2 series that I didn't get. So I want to share those with you guys, and I think it's important to know that, again, the Star Wars fan base is split, as everybody knows. People hate it, people like it, you know, there's split in every which way, and that's kind of sad. But, you know, it's all about your personal preference. The only person that matters is you. So, damn if, you know, other people are liking it or disliking it. It's what you like. That's the most important thing, you know. So, again, last episode, I showcased the Bespin Empire Luke. And again, let me bring out the OG one. Alright, this is the original 1981 Bespin Luke, and this is the, oh, not that glare, this is the reissue 2020 of the Bespin Luke. And of course they just use the same mold. The date stamp is going to be different, and I have repo accessories. I've mentioned that before, because I lost all my accessories from my childhood figurines. So I don't remember if his blaster was blue or black, but retro blasting highlighted some minute differences in it. I mean, they're like microscopic, but again, whether you're for or against what Disney has done to modern Star Wars, that's entirely up to you. The point is that, let me put him here. The point is that, you know, I think these are great to add to anyone's collection, whether you grew up with these figures or you're just one of these millennials or newer guys that are getting into Star Wars. I mean, these were the toys that we had as kids, and these are the ones that you would, I gotta move this guy. These are the ones that you would be so happy to open up and play with, and that went on so many countless adventures as a kid. And the thing is, this is Hasbro's going to get our money one way or another. So it's kind of like pointless to, oh, I'm not getting this or that. I mean, G.I. Joe, Hasbro has just recently opened up the G.I. Joe website again, and they're adding more figures, and they're actually having a kind of following what they did with the G1 Transformer reissues. They're actually going to be releasing classic G.I. Joe, and they're going to be a Walmart exclusive, just like how the Transformer G1 reissues that you see back here that they did. So whether it's the original 80 mold and early 90 molds, I don't know. It could be the 25th anniversary molds. We don't know at this point, but we knew at some point Hasbro and Walmart are going to be releasing quote-unquote classic G.I. Joe. And of course I'm going to get that. I mean, I'm not too keen on these new Marvel Legends scale. I don't have any of them. I didn't even order any of them because I don't like them. Like, you know, and there are a lot of people are excited about them. And great, you know, I see on the Facebook pages all these people getting that initial wave, and Cobra Commander has just been announced to be included in this, and you know, it's wonderful. I mean, whatever, you know, positive vibes and bringing people into G.I. Joe, that's great. So again, with these figures, I think they hit the spot. I don't like the modern stuff, but just to have, you know, Bespin Luke in the card back, you know, looking just like my original one, that's great. I mean, it's a win-win for me. And so let's go through the other figures as part of the line. All right. So in last episode, we talked about Lando, and I compared that to the, let me get the Lando figure. I'm going to be doing a lot of this back and forth, because underneath me, you guys don't see, it's a mess. Like, I have all of my well, 1/3 of my collection all on the floor. So again, we're going to bring up I lost the cape and the blaster a long time ago, but if you could tell, the mold is pretty much identical to the classic one, issued in 1981. I think that's his date stamp. 1980, sorry. So the Empire, obviously, 1980 were the date stamps for these, the Empire toys. So that's pretty cool. So again, they're going to be doing Return of the Jedi. So that's how, like, Wave 1 was, you know, A New Hope. This is Wave 2, it's all Empire. So let's look at the next, now we're going to new stuff. So we have Han on Hoth. Another great figure, I think I have him too. Yeah. All right, so again, this is my original one, so he's quite the beater, but that's what makes him so sweet. So again, it's just a carbon copy of the original 1980 mold. And just to have it on card back and, you know, going up on the wall, I think it's great. I mean, I've been really tough on Disney, Hasbro, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, but what the hell, you know, life is too short, screw it. So that's one new figure. And the next one, of course, is Hoth Leia. I don't have Hoth Leia, well, I did, but I don't have it anymore. But this is the Hoth Leia. Again, nice card back. I do like that. I don't like the Luke one so much, but this is I mean, Carrie Fisher, you know, rest in peace, but you gotta have Princess Leia. And I think I have the Black Series one. Here we go. And this is the Black Series of Hoth Leia. And I think I've been critical of the Black Series, but they hit this one on the head. So if I think it's number 63 or 65 in the Black Series, but if this is a wonderfully done Black Series of Hoth Leia, and I think they did a great job with that as far as modern figures. But to have the original one back in my hands is great, in the card back. The next one is the cream of the crop, and for obvious reasons. There's two things that makes it's worth buying this, and that is Yoda. Again, nice card back, and you guys know from collecting, the staff and the snake itself is stupid expensive to get and add to your collection if you're missing those. And again, the price point of these is $10. So screw it, man. I mean, for 10 bucks, who cares? All politics aside, just to add these to your collection is wonderful. So again, hit up Walmarts and try to target regional Walmarts. Not every Walmart won't have it. They don't really like advertise which Walmarts, just like with the G1s here. You have to know your area pretty well and which Walmarts are getting them. Because I have one here, there's one in Sebastian. Sometimes the one in Vero will get some, but I know the one in Fort Pierce, that's the regional Walmart. And that's my sweet spot. That's where I know that whatever is going to be released, 9 out of 10, they're going to get it. The other Walmarts, it's Sebastian definitely won't get it. You know, so that's kind of how it works. And it's kind of cool to actually go and physically hunt for these things versus just buying shit online. I mean, it's just a part of the adventure of getting it. So I highly recommend this series. I think they did a wonderful job, and all politics aside, you know, and I mentioned it that the only reason why Hasbro is doing this is because G.I. Joe toy sales have been going down the toilet, and a lot of people are just, you know, it's like, it's just becoming too commonplace and an oversaturated market. So, and there's no demand. So when that happens, you got to create demand. Ta-da! This is the demand. Harkens feelings of nostalgia. The original classic line. Everybody is in agreement that the first three are the best three, and you know, it's the base point for every Star Wars fans since in the 70s all the way down to 2020. So to have this Yoda is exceptionally the best value to get. Just because the accessories alone, to get them, is just stupid. So I don't have a Yoda, so it's good to finally, after all these years, get a Yoda. The second thing I wanted to talk about is a good friend of the channel presented me something that I think is more rare than the figures that were attached to it. And that is the He-Man comics. That's right. If you guys remember, He-Man used to come with the comic book. So you would get He-Man, and right behind He-Man, well, let me pull out this. So when you get the He-Man toy, there would be a comic right behind it. Now, Super 7 this is just a photo. So there's no comic inside the Super 7 reissues. And see the video how I highly recommend getting these, because Mattel took back the license and they're releasing their retro He-Man figures, and they are shit. So it's just funny that Super 7 did a better job of reissuing Mattel Masters of the Universe, and now Mattel has took back the license and they're going to be releasing retro figures, and from the looks of it, they are horrendous, guys. So if you're able to, there's still some out there, go to bigbadtoystore.com, and at 20 bucks a pop, it's still a deal before these skyrocket, because these are going to be the preferred ones versus the Mattel. I guarantee that. So if you're able to, and if you're looking to add to your He-Man collection, this is a no-brainer. All right, so let's go back to and I have a whole stack of these, which is phenomenal. So if you remember, there used to be a little like, oh, these are the things you could add, you know, advertising. In order to complete this adventure, you need to get these toys. Huh? Pretty cool marketing. But again, just looking at the artwork is kind of cool. I like this one. Like, you have He-Man riding a dinosaur. It's just funny because the comics, I just read a few of them just now. The story is vastly different from the Filmation cartoon. Like, there's more sorcery and like, you know, kind of Conan the Barbarian type of stuff with magic. And that's what makes collecting these really, really fun. And these are a lot more difficult to find than the figures, because oftentimes people would throw these away, and now it's like gold right there. So we got this. I'm just going to show some of the ones. Here's a really nice one. Look at sexy Tila. Those are legs right there, guys. And gals. That's the one thing, you notice that? Like, you know, you could compliment someone's leg, like a woman's legs, and it'll be male or female. It won't come across as being offensive or crude or whatever. Like, oh, she has nice legs. It could be because of health or fitness, but I always found that was kind of fascinating. You can't say that, but oh my God, look at her boobs. Like, you know, you get slapped in the face. But anyway, this is another. I just love the illustrations on these. It's so wonderful. And I'm glad to add these to the collection. I do have some duplicates, so I will probably, like, you know, advertise. I think this one came with the airplane. So that's kind of cool. Oh wow, this is Ram Man going against He-Man. That seems weird. So I gotta find out that. You know, of course, Ram Man was on He-Man's side, so it looks like that Skeletor is using. And that's the other thing. These comics showcase Skeletor using his sword versus the Filmation, where, you know, Skeletor hardly used his sword and for the Grayskull, and I think that was a missed opportunity. This came with Stinkor. Again, just great illustrations. Because I do comics, I think, ooh, Sorceress. See, I haven't gone through all of these fully, so I'm going through together. Sorceress, whew, that's another one. Again, Bug-Eye, whatever his name is, I have his toy. So this probably came with his action figure. I just think these are pretty cool. I wanted to share that with you guys. And maybe, like, you know, we'll do another video of covering these. But how many of you remember these comic books? And what were your thoughts on them? Did you keep them? Or, you know, how did you feel comparing the comics versus the Filmation? I'd like to know your thoughts about that. So anyway, this is a mini small improv episode of Codename New 2. Thanks for watching, and we are in week number 4 of Retro Room 2.0, and I'll give you a quick look of what I'm dealing with down here. So again, simultaneously I'm working on the game, so it doesn't look like it, but I have everything stacked up like PlayStation 2, Genesis, the bigger Genesis carts, Super Nintendo, N64, Xbox 360, PlayStation 1, somewhere in there, Dreamcast. So again, organization is the most important thing when you're, you know, setting up or moving, and I highly emphasize that, especially when you have a section of your home or wherever you live dedicated to your collection. I'm lucky that my wife said, here's one room, go nuts, and allowed me to display this. And we're still, you know, working on, I'm just putting things out right now to set up, but here's the floor, and you can see it's just a freaking mess. But it's like, you know, it's a controlled mess. So I kind of know where everything is. So when it's time to finally put things back in order, I could do that. Well, anyway, that's this episode of Codename New 2. This is Shabu RU signing off.